Level 1. The Dreamer. You're 17, sitting in a crowded classroom, staring at a biology textbook while everyone else worries about exams, but your mind is somewhere else. You imagine yourself in green scrubs, standing under bright operating room lights, saving someone's life with your own hands. Your family proudly tells relatives, he wants to become a surgeon, and every time they say it, the pressure grows a little heavier. You begin studying while your friends are out playing football or scrolling through social media. Late nights become normal. Coffee becomes your closest companion. One wrong answer in a practice test feels like a disaster because you know the competition is brutal. Still, the dream keeps you going. You're not chasing money yet. You're chasing the idea of becoming someone extraordinary. Level 2. The medical student. You got into medical school. For a few weeks, it feels like victory. Then anatomy class begins. Suddenly, you're memorizing hundreds of muscles, nerves, arteries, and bones. You spend hours in the dissection lab while the smell of formalin clings to your clothes. Your social life almost disappears. The first time you hold a scalpel, your hands tremble slightly. It's not fear of the instrument. It's the realization that one day, this tool will be used on a real human being. Exams come one after another. You study through weekends, birthdays, and holidays. Some classmates drop out. Others lose confidence. You learn that intelligence alone is not enough. Endurance matters more. By the end of this stage, you've gained something important: discipline. You no longer study because someone tells you to. You study because people's lives will eventually depend on what you know. Level 3. The intern. Congratulations. You're finally a doctor. At least that's what your ID badge says. In reality, you feel like a confused assistant running through hospital corridors. Your shift starts before sunrise and often ends long after midnight. You write notes, draw blood, insert IV lines, and answer endless phone calls. Then comes your first emergency surgery. The operating room is freezing. Monitors beep constantly. Senior surgeons move with incredible speed while you struggle just to keep up. Your job is simple: hold retractors and stay out of the way. But inside, your heart is racing. After the surgery, you realize something shocking. Surgery is not glamorous. It's exhausting, stressful, and unforgiving. You make mistakes. A medication dose is written incorrectly. A patient's chart is incomplete. Your senior corrects you sharply in front of everyone. It hurts, but you learn. This is the stage where many future surgeons decide whether they truly belong in the operating room. Level 4. The surgical resident. Now the real training begins. You are officially a surgical resident, which means the hospital practically becomes your home. 80-hour work weeks are considered normal. Sometimes you don't see sunlight for an entire day. Your pager never stops ringing. One moment you're assisting in a gallbladder surgery, and the next you're running to the emergency department because a trauma patient has arrived. You eat meals in 5 minutes. Sleep happens whenever you can find a chair. The first time you perform part of an operation, your hands sweat inside your gloves. Every movement is watched by the attending surgeon standing beside you. You hear the words, "Careful with the artery," and suddenly you become aware of how little room there is for error. You start developing surgical instincts. You can recognize internal bleeding before the monitor alarms. You can predict complications before they happen, but the cost is high. Relationships become difficult. Friends stop inviting you to events because you always cancel. Family members complain that you're never available. You're becoming a surgeon, but you're also learning that every promotion comes with a sacrifice. Level 5. The senior resident. Something has changed. New interns now look at you the same way you once looked at your seniors. You know where every instrument is kept. Nurses trust your decisions. Junior residents call you when they're unsure what to do. For the first time, you begin leading operations. A patient with appendicitis is brought in at 2 a.m. The attending surgeon is available by phone, but the operation is yours. As you make the first incision, the room falls quiet. Everyone is waiting for your next move. The surgery goes well. When the patient wakes up safely, you feel a kind of satisfaction that is difficult to describe. Not excitement, relief mixed with pride. You realize that years of sleepless nights have finally started turning into competence. Yet this stage is also dangerous. Confidence can become overconfidence. One difficult case reminds you that surgery can humble anyone. A complication occurs during a procedure. The patient survives, but you spend days replaying every decision in your mind. That experience teaches you the most important lesson of your career. A good surgeon is not the one who never makes mistakes, but the one who never stops learning from them. Level 6. The attending surgeon. You've reached the rank you once dreamed about. Your name is now on the operating schedule. Patients ask specifically for you. Medical students follow you through the hospital, hoping to learn from your experience. The first time a patient says, "I trust you with my life," the weight of those words hits you harder than any exam ever did. Your days are filled with consultations, surgeries, and teaching. A routine operation that once terrified you can now be performed almost automatically, but routine is dangerous, so you force yourself to stay focused on every single case. Financially, life improves. You can finally afford the things you postponed for years, but free time remains scarce. One evening, after completing a 10-hour surgery, you sit alone in your office looking at the post-operative scan. The operation was successful, the tumor is gone. A family will get more time with someone they love. In that quiet moment, you understand why surgeons endure everything they do. Not for the title, not for the salary, for moments like this. Level 7. The chief surgeon. You are no longer just operating. You are leading an entire surgical department. Residents present cases to you. Hospital administrators ask for your opinion. Difficult patients are referred directly to your team. Your schedule is packed with meetings, research, and complex operations that other surgeons may avoid. The pressure is different now. If a junior surgeon struggles during a procedure, you are the one expected to step in and fix the situation. You also become a mentor. A nervous resident stands beside you during surgery, and you remember your own trembling hands years ago. Instead of shouting, you guide them calmly. You realize that your legacy will not be measured only by the operations you perform, but by the surgeons you train. The hospital runs more smoothly because of your decisions. Younger doctors begin quoting your advice. Patients travel from other cities to seek your expertise. This is the stage where skill transforms into leadership. Level 8. The legendary surgeon. You've spent more than 3 decades in the operating room. Your hands have performed thousands of surgeries. You can walk through the hospital and see former students who are now respected surgeons themselves. Some of them have become department heads. A few have even surpassed you in certain techniques, and that makes you proud. You operate less frequently now, choosing only the most challenging cases. When you enter the operating room, the atmosphere changes. Everyone knows they are working with someone who has seen almost every possible complication. One day, a young medical student asks you, "What is the secret to becoming a great surgeon?" You smile because you know there is no secret. It was never about having perfect hands. It was about showing up every day, even when you were exhausted. It was about studying when others were sleeping. It was about accepting criticism, learning from failure, and carrying the responsibility of another human life without running away from it. As retirement approaches, you realize the greatest reward isn't the awards on your office wall. It's the countless people who are alive because you chose this path. And when you finally leave the hospital for the last time, you understand something beautiful. A surgeon's career is not a ladder of ranks. It is a lifetime of turning fear into skill, skill into confidence, and confidence into the ability to give someone another chance at life. From the 17-year-old dreamer with a biology textbook to the legendary surgeon whose students now carry the torch forward, you lived every rank, and every single step was earned.